everybody. Happy morning, happy morning, happy morning. Today is a day that begins kind of a little bit cooler temperatures, and the sun is going to be out and it's going to be very nice, and it's a good day to take a daycation. So I'm going to tell you, where would I go on a daycation? I might go to Bryson City. I might go up to Darnell Farms. I might go to the Nantahala. I might go across Burnt Mountain. I might go to Dahlonega. I might go, where else would I go? I might go to Talking Rock. I might go to Ellijay. I might go to Blue Ridge. I might go to any of these tiny towns near us, because you know what these tiny towns are doing right now? They are preparing to show out for tourist season. So if you haven't been to one of our many, many sweet little towns lately, get out and do it. Talking Rock has a couple of new buildings. Ellijay has a couple of new businesses. Blue Ridge is just kind of busting at the seams. I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to have to get a seamstress and tighten up there. They've got so many new businesses and they're doing very, very well. But you don't have to go very far to take a daycation. Go to McKaysville, go to Copper Hill, go to Copper Hill, and if you've never stood on that blue line, go right there to the IGA grocery store and get tickled as you put your leg, one in Tennessee and one in Georgia. I did it about 100 years ago when it was crazy, y'all. It was so long ago, it's like, it was how many years ago? It was over 50 years ago the first time I went there. And I think about it all the time, and I think that was so crazy, because then it seemed like a foreign country to me. It seems so far away, and it's really not. So today, on a Monday, when the tourists aren't here yet, y'all just get out and have a good day in the communities that we serve. And where do we serve? Ball Ground to Turtletown. But you know what else we do? We've picked up a lot of friends and a lot of viewers on YouTube, because when we leave the air today, everything we do goes on YouTube. And one of the coolest things we've done lately, and this is for y'all, one day I'm not going to be here. One day I'm going to see Jesus. And when I do, I have tons and tons and tons of old programs. So we have decided that it is time that we share the old programming with the world. So we've put a bunch of them on YouTube. If you ever were on the show, possibly you will be showing up on YouTube. If you ever was, watched somebody that you knew and loved that did music on here, they're possibly going to be showing up on YouTube, because we're going through them and we're kind of editing them a little bit and put them on there, because these are things that when I'm dead and gone, nobody's going to have access to. So I said, I think it's time. So we're putting them together and putting them on YouTube. And if you just type in my name, Sherry Martin, and pull it up, then you have access to hundreds and hundreds. YouTube is free. It doesn't cost you a dime. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button on my channels, and then you watch them and watch them and watch them and watch them. Lots of good music, lots of amazing memories, and lots of sweet, sweet moments. And in the near future, we're going to be adding one that's really special to me, because it says Mike Rizzuto. After Angela's death, he had written this song about her as she was battling cancer, and then he actually sang at her funeral. And so we're going to be sharing that. We're going to be sharing a lot of things that are very, very special to me. And I hope that you will check out the YouTube channels and you'll just say, oh my gosh, I remember that guest, I remember that. We have one lady on here who was fighting cancer, and she had written a book, and I haven't checked to see how she's doing lately. But her story was so encouraging, and I said, that's what we want to do. We want to be an encourager to everybody. We just want to encourage, 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 and I think it's getting that way, because there's this little girl that I run around with. She's really not a little girl, but she's a tiny little thing. Miss Evelyn just celebrated her birthday, and we call her the ambassador of Ball Ground. She's only lived in Ball Ground about 5 years, but she celebrated her birthday on Friday the 13th, and she had a very positive attitude about it being Friday the 13th. She's involved in everything good about what happens to our community. She volunteers for everything. She donates her time, her energy, because that's the kind of person she is. Well, if you get out and get around your tiny towns, you will find new folks who have moved in who also got involved with the cities and got involved with your towns and love it. And that's what it's about. If you've just moved here, get on board. You know, find out some of the organizations that help people. Find out some of the organizations that need volunteers. Find out some of the organizations that need somebody to go to the school and read to kids. You know, just find something that says, hey, I'm here and I want to give back. I think that's so cool. It's really cool to watch as you just become part of the community. And boy, is she part of the community. Everywhere you go, it's Evelyn said to do this, Evelyn said to do that. Evelyn's got this organized, Evelyn's got that organized, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about. So I hope that you will be encouraged by her and her very spunky, positive, get-her-done attitude, because Betty, she has got a get-her-done attitude, and we've had a lot of fun getting things done in the city that we both fell in love with. So if you're lucky enough to be in Ball Ground, then you're lucky enough to know Miss Evelyn. So happy, happy birthday. Her way to celebrate her birthday was to hike. They went out of town and went up and did a 4-mile hike. Now this is funny, y'all. That picture is when we started doing an estate sale, and we had to go through any and everything, and we cleaned out, we hauled off, and we threw away, and we sorted, and we separated, and she jumped right in there. Well, the next thing I know, we jerked that carpet up off that floor, and it exposed the most beautiful hardwood floors you've ever seen. How many of y'all live in houses today where you have beautiful hardwood floors and you put carpet over it? What'd you do that for? So it was so funny. We went up there one day and Evelyn was jerking up carpet, and I said, oh my gosh, look at these floors. They're beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So to Evelyn, happy, happy birthday. Now on Saturday, there was also 2 birthdays, and those birthdays are pretty special to us, because we all know that one of the Fountain twins is my son-in-law. Well, the other one is my buddy Donnie, and Donnie is the kindest, sweetest, godliest man you ever met in your life, and he's always giving back. And so we want to say happy, happy birthday to those boys right there, the Fountain twins. If they've ever roofed your house, do y'all think they ever looked like that? Well, yeah, they did when they were little fellers. So look at that, and there they are today. This is as they won another championship on the Ohio River. They were up against 200 boats, and they won again. So, you know, I can tell y'all stories. Actually, I could write a book about them, but I don't know. They might choke me if I told it all. But I've seen those boys leave home without enough money to eat on their fishing trip because they were struggling when the economy was hurting and things were bad. And they struggled. Now that is the coolest picture, because that is Pickens County Bank. The people who work there, all except for one of them, and she's in another picture. But it's so funny. That's when Pickens County Bank was formed in Jasper, but now it's Regions Bank, and that's some of the women who work together. And one of the guys, many years ago, one of them, Miss Trina, is lucky enough to be, she's retiring, so yay! And the rest of them, I think, are all still working, but it's crazy to see those sweet ladies together after many years. Pickens County Bank was one of those risk takers, and I think Dennis Burnett got a bunch of people together, and they formed a bank. And it stayed Pickens County Bank for a long time, and now it's Regions Bank. So, well, I hadn't said anything about the event over the weekend because I really don't know how to handle it. Everybody knows what... how much I do love and appreciate what Donald Trump did for the economy, and thank God I was a recipient of a lot of the good days when he was president. But this weekend, once again, somebody took an opportunity to try to do something terrible, and a possible assassination attempt was made again on our president. And he's our president, he's my president, he's our former president, and I hope he will be our president again. But when I look at the insanity in the world, people are crazy. They're just crazy. And I don't know why, I don't know what, I don't know why people hate the way they hate. But I remember attending Martin Luther King's funeral, and I remember thinking, this is the first time I ever really looked at America, and we were all gathered together, and we were all walking up Baker Street. We were all supporting each other. We were all together. And I think it's about time that the crazy, mean, terrible things that people are saying stop. Because a lot of all the mean, crazy things that are said about President Trump is going to get him killed if you don't hush, because people get all angry and believe this stuff. They believe that he's going to be a dictator. They believe stupid, stupid stuff. We had 4 years of his presidency, and I will tell you, I don't know about y'all, but it was the cheapest gas prices, the best grocery prices, the best time in the world to ever buy a house. Everything worked very, very well. Well, now they're trying to stop him in his tracks, and I almost said a bad word, but I'm not going to say what they're trying to do. They are literally trying to stop him in his tracks. The reason I wore this blue today, we call this Melania blue. The day of the inauguration, 2016's year, when he was inaugurated, his beautiful wife walked down Pennsylvania Avenue in an outfit that was Melania blue, and that's what we named it. We just all, a bunch of old widow women were sitting around, we were crying, we were praying, we were so happy that he was our president, so happy that she was our first lady. And so today, in honor of her, can you imagine being a wife who has twice now gotten a phone call that someone tried to assassinate your husband? 12 miles from where he lives, somebody tried to assassinate him again. It's getting crazy. It's getting ridiculous. And it's because the other side is telling lies and lies and lies. No, he's not a dictator. No, he's not going to do this. No, he's not going to do that. What he's going to do is make America great again. And so I think we need to kind of sit back and cool it just a little bit. Now, speaking of cooling it, this morning, I'm so glad that I've learned to be a little more patient. I didn't used to be very patient. And, you know, every once in a while somebody will tell you something and you think, well, he don't know what he's talking about. He's lost his mind. What's he talking about? I used to drive a little faster than I do now. And somebody told me, he said, you know, you wear your car out faster, you wear your brakes out faster, you use more gas. Why don't you just slow down? And I said, never thought of that. Well, I realize you can leave 5 minutes early and you can get there same time and go a little bit slower. This morning I'm coming up through Jasper, and there's a whole bunch of us on the road this morning, a whole wad of us. And there's one in front of me that I can't go around, and there's another whole line of traffic over here, and I can't change lanes. And I'm looking in my rearview mirror, and there's a white car behind me, and then there's a white Ford Explorer behind her. And the white Ford Explorer kept trying to get out to the lane and look to see why we weren't going any faster. Well, we were going 7 miles over the speed limit. I think that's plenty fast enough. But this Ford Explorer decides that she's going to warp around me and cut in front of me. And I'm just watching her and I'm thinking, you're nuts. You're crazy. I don't know why you didn't leave home a little bit earlier. So Dwight Sanford, you're right. I hate when I have to tell a man he was right, but he's right. That was stupid. She made a stupid move, and all the way up the road I'm watching her, and I'm watching my odometer, and I'm watching how far ahead she gets. It's real funny. I wrote down her tag number, and she gets way ahead of me. But we get to the red light, and guess who's sitting right there, right in front of me? That crazy woman that was driving way too fast, way too many miles to get nowhere because she got to the red light. I was right behind her. And I thought, why do y'all do this? So let's slow down. Let's consider that there are angels among us. And those angels sometimes protect us, and sometimes those angels don't protect us. And if you get out there and drive like a crazy person and you cause a wreck, the angel might not come. So think about that. But this weekend, I think there was an angel among us because the Secret Service did their job this weekend. They did their job, and one Secret Service agent happened to look into the bushes, and he saw the barrel of a gun. Can you imagine what that was like? And can you imagine? But you know who saved him? You know who saved the president because they got this guy? Just some old Joe Blow, just some guy with his phone, Keep your phone out, and if you see something bad happening, take a picture. This guy ought to get a reward because they caught the man within an hour or so. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And it's because just Joe Blow citizen just took his phone, and it's like this morning, I wrote down this lady's tag number. Well, it gets funnier than that. When I get up here to go to ETC, I'm watching as she turns and as she goes here and goes there. And I thought, now I'm on a mission. Where does she work? Slow down. Y'all just slow down. Life is so much better. Everybody says in the fast lane, you see it, but you don't really envision it. In the slow lane, you kind of take it all in and you enjoy it. And that's why I tell you, get out and take you a daycation. Just kind of slow down, ride around the mountains, see something you hadn't seen, ride up to a restaurant you've always wanted to eat at and you hadn't eaten there before. Get out and do it, but don't do it at 85 miles an hour, and don't be the one that causes that wreck. So leave 5 minutes early and just slow it down. Good? Good. Everybody can do that, and we can all live that way. Now, I want to read something. You know, I love this book, Mike Smith. We are about to face our 1-year anniversary at Malone's Pond. And the day that we broke ground, Mike Smith was there, and he did a very, very special prayer for us. And that prayer has come to be because he asked God to do special things for us, and God truly did. So I want to share just a little bit. And Trace, can you find a really pretty scene of some pretty mountains that can make folks think, well, maybe we ought to get out today and we ought to see something pretty? And maybe, would that be good?
Give me just a second.
Okay. Today is a day that the skies are going to be blue. You can find a creek. You could take a picnic if you want to go out to eat. Pack you a pot of, what do you call that stuff? A can of that potted meat and some loaf bread or a pineapple sandwich, or just take you something and sit by a creek and just enjoy the day. Just enjoy the moment, enjoy the day, because there are going to be days that, you know, it's going to be rainy, it's going to be cold, it's going to be miserable. But today is one of those days that you can get out and enjoy these mountains and see where we serve. And if you haven't been to Turtletown, Tennessee, you might try that. Now, this is something called Angels Among Us, and I think it's pretty appropriate today. Years ago, I was driving the fire engine down to the maintenance shop in Canton from Ball Ground. We were going to leave it there for some work to be done. My fire chief was ahead of me driving the rescue truck to bring me back. It was a rainy day and the roads were very slick. While en route, we learned of an accident on I-575. A car had hydroplaned on the road and went down an embankment. The chief got to the scene first and was able to get the female driver out of the vehicle and up the embankment. Her car had missed several large pine trees by inches before coming to a stop still upright. She was emotionally and physically shaken, but did not have any severe injuries. It continued to rain, and we placed her in the rescue unit waiting on the squad, and waiting on which is the ambulance. I told her it sure looked like an angel was with her, directing her car between those trees that she barely missed. If the car had hit any of those trees, she would have had severe injuries and possibly could have been killed. I asked her if it would be okay to pray and to thank God for protecting her. She told me she would like for me to do that. So while the rain came down, as I stood outside the rescue holding her hand, I thanked God for her protection over her life. I asked God to calm her nerves and give her a peace that could only come from Him. I thanked God she did not have any serious injuries, and that because it could have been a very tragic accident. The incident and others like it always remind me of what the Bible says. If you make the Lord your refuge, if you make the Most High your shelter, no evil will conquer, no plague will come near your home, for He will order His angels to protect you wherever you go. I believe because of God's grace, mercy, and love, we have angels all around us. When we get to heaven, we'll find out from them just how really close we were on this earth to death. And I think this is one of the things that convinces me President Trump is here for a reason. He is here for us. He's not here for himself. He is a billionaire. He does not need the salary that you get being President of the United States. He donated his salary. He is here for us. He is trying to do good for us. And this morning, I got really angry at that lady who was driving like that, and I watched her, and all the way up the road, the more I watched her, I thought, you're really acting stupid, and you're really doing dangerous things because you're in a hurry and you're 5 minutes late or whatever. Why didn't you leave home earlier? And then I thought about it, and I thought, well, God protected her today, because as she warped over in front of me, I could have hit her. My husband would have hit her. He'd have taught her a lesson. But I just thought about that, and I thought, why do we do things to change other people's lives? Why do we have to act irresponsibly? Why do we have to do that? The guy who went after President Trump on Saturday was just an angry old person. We don't know why he did this, but we know who he supports and what he supports and the things that he disagrees with the United States. We are America, and we are America strong, and we have to get it back together. We have to bring ourselves back to the 10 Commandments need to be on the walls of every courthouse. We need to start prayer in the schools every single day. We need to allow our kids to read the Bible in school. We need to allow things that were taken away from us. We need to go back to a kinder, gentler nation. So I think today it's time to start that. So today, pray for somebody you don't like. Pray for somebody that's been mean to you. I'm going to pray for that woman that went around me doing way too fast and warped and made me mad, because she really made me mad, and I thought, this is crazy. She's starting my day off like this. I'm not going to let her do it. So I didn't let her do it. But it's time we just get together and let's make America all it can possibly be, and together we can do that. Dwight Sanford, you were right. Yep, I was right behind her at the red light. I don't like when he's right, but he was right. So we're going to take a commercial break, and then I'm going to share, when it gets cool weather, I love to make this stuff. And this is a Heart of the Home that Melton Campbell and his son helped me with up in Pigeon Forge. A whole bunch of y'all are in Pigeon Forge this weekend because school is out. And when school is out, y'all hit the high road and you head to Pigeon Forge. So I'm going to share this recipe, and then guess what you get next? Dwight Sanford's new music. Exciting. You're going to get a lot of it today. Here we go.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time, and delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy taught him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
He's loose. He's across the 40 to the 50. It's a foot race to the end zone.
Keep it. He's got a little bit of running room. Hops over a defender, picks up the first down.
There he goes up the middle. He'll be cut down at the 20.
Is into the end zone for a Fannin Rebel score.
Catches it in stride. He'll go to the end zone.
Breaks the tackle. Touchdown.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Hi, I'm Sherry Martin. I'm still in Pigeon Forge. I'm still smiling, and my guest Melton Campbell is back with me tonight, and we're going to share a sweet tart recipe. This didn't have a name when we got here, and we gave it one, didn't we? I'm sweet, you're tart. Here we go. The ingredients for this recipe are 2 packs of crescent rolls, 3 Granny Smith apples, cinnamon and sugar to taste, butter, cream cheese, and we're using the whipped cream cheese, and canned vanilla icing. Simple, simple, easy to assemble. Now Melton has already peeled the apples for me, and you're going to be grating these, and you grate them very fine because this doesn't have much time to cook before the crust is done. So we want the apples fine. And you're going to grate those without cutting yourself on the grater?
I'll do my
Is that
best.
the deal? Okay, there we
no
go.
blood flying.
No. No injuries. We are grating this fine because this does cook quick. The crescent rolls cook fast. We're going to cook them at 340, so they do cook fast, and it just gives the cream cheese and the apples time to blend, and it's a little bit crunchy when it comes out. They're not always cooked together. It's just a little bit crunchy.
I can see where you could take a finger.
You
like
could,
that.
absolutely. You have to be careful with this. I've had this grater a long time, and I use it pretty often, but you do have to be careful. We're going to create our bottom crust by just using a can of crescent rolls. And I said, I believe I've made this thing so many ways we could enter a Pillsbury cook-off. This is a great way to use crescent rolls. You just roll them out and create your crust. You mash the seams together so that it doesn't split while it's cooking. And we're just going to cover this in cream cheese. And you're going to sprinkle it with the apples that you've already done. And I'm going to put the cinnamon and sugar. Remember, I'm the sweet part of this recipe, and you're the tart. That's right. That's right. This could stand to be a little bit softer. I should have gotten it out of the fridge a little bit sooner. But it's going to be just fine. And I promise this will be hot and bubbly quickly. That's the thing. That's why we had to get the recipe for the apples. Has to be the consistency you need. Now, go ahead and sprinkle some apples on top of this. I'm going to dollop a little bit of butter on there with your apples. Not very much, because we don't need much butter. We've got the cream cheese. Looks good. Now, cinnamon and sugar.
There's the sweet.
There's the sweet. Here's the sweet.
Oh, wait a minute.
There's the sweet. Okay, cinnamon and sugar to taste. We're going to put a topping on there. You create your top crust. And this is so good and so simple. Okay, we're going to stick this in the oven at 340 for about 12 minutes. There you go. There's your job. Hot out of the oven, smells great. We're going to add a little icing to this, and we've been joined by Ellijay Campbell, Melton's son, who's going to sample this for us.
Oh, he likes to
Wow, that smells so good,
Boy,
doesn't it,
that smells
Ellijay?
good.
All right, now we're going to cut this with a pizza cutter. I found doing this, I cut it in little squares, and to be quite honest with you, serve it several times a week, take it to the office, but remember, we're traveling, and this was such an easy recipe. You can travel with these ingredients. We always bring a cooler. We always buy what's on sale, and try not to eat out much. We just kind of cook us a little something here in the cabin. And this, does that look good? Time to take a bite. See if you like this. Quick and easy. Good? Very good. Ellijay says it's a winner. We'll be back, guys. Bye-bye.
Abraham. Some glad morning when this life is over, I'll celestial shore, I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. When the shadows of this life have grown, I'll fly away. Like a bird from prison bars has flown, I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Just a few more weary days and then I'll fly away to a land where joy shall never end. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away.
Now that is a song in honor and in memory of my sweet mama, because of all the songs ever that she wanted done at her funeral. That was it. And you know who did that song. Now we're going to bring you some of his new stuff, but it's old stuff, because he chooses the old artists that he loved. He chooses the music that touched his life. And for any of y'all who heard that story I told this morning about him being right, don't tell him I said he was right. Lord, he's big-headed enough. All I need is for him to really think he's right about something. So, shh, don't tell him. Just hush now. When we think about music, there was a time in my life that I was all Motown, all Beach Boys, all the Hot Rod Car songs. That was kind of my life. And then that was when I lived in Orlando. And then I moved back to Georgia, and when I came back to Georgia, made a visit on a summer day and stayed a couple of weeks with an aunt who had amazing taste in gospel music. So then all of a sudden I loved gospel music. Well, she also loved country music, and so there I came back to country music. No matter what kind of music we listen to during our life, we remember that period, we remember those songs, we have those memories. And the guys have been working on a very neat special that comes from Anderson Music Hall, and it is a combination of much music from the early days to the days of rock and roll, to the days of bringing back the old rock and roll guys, bringing back some of the old Motown guys, and that's right here in North Georgia. So check out the Hiwassee area, check out the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds, check out Anderson Music Hall and their concerts, because if you like the old music like I like, so many concerts going on. This weekend there was a fantastic Emmylou Harris concert, and everybody said it was just on top. It was amazing. And you know what was so cool about it? It's that old stuff that we love, that old stuff we fell in love with. And that's why Dwight has chosen the music he chose. He chose stuff that touched his heart, touched other people's hearts, that said, hey, why don't you do this song? Why don't you do that song? Very soon, we're going to figure out a cover for this CD project. Nobody can figure out the cover yet. Still being worked on. Can't make up our mind, his mind, our mind, their minds. A lot of minds are going into this, so we don't know what the cover is going to look like. He kind of wants to have one that looks like a roller rink, and then one, and I suggested this, he played at the Rebel Inn forever. And I said, I've got some good shots of the Rebel Inn. We could convert them to black and white, and we can put some old cars out there in front of it. I think that would be a cool cover. And I think that when we look around, that was a period of time, cars were cool, music was cool. It was a better life. It was just so easy to get out and go sit and talk to your buddies back up in town and sit there. Now you can't back up in town and sit and talk to anybody, because somebody will tell you, move on, you're taking up a parking place. You know, it's a different world, it's a different life. So it's fun to go back to the old music, to the old memories, to the old songs that we go, yeah, I remember the number that was on the jukebox. When we had the Iron Skillet in Jasper for years, I would go in and I had 5 favorites that I always played over and over and over. 5 songs for a quarter. Can you imagine that today? That ain't happening. That ain't gonna happen. No, it's gonna cost you probably $1 a song. But we look back at the music, and the music made many of us. It set our tone for the day. It changed our mind if we were feeling bad and terrible, and then we played a really good song and it said, oh man, that feels good and it sounds good. The music makes a difference in our life, and I think that the music he's chosen, it's one heck of a variety. When I was going through it, I was going, okay, very different music, but it's the stuff that people always requested. So I hope that you have a DVR at home, and I hope that you can record, because right now you're going to get some of his new music. And I hope that these are some of your favorites too. Mr. Sanford, take it away.
All my life I remember Daddy telling the story about when they lived up there above Grandma and Grandpa's on the side of the road in that little old house. Said it was real cold that night. They was already in the bed. Somebody was beating on the door. He said he got up to see who it was, and it was Nez. He had walked up there from Grandma and Grandpa, and he said he could tell he was upset about something. He walked in, he said, and held his hands out over that old wood heater and looked up at Daddy with tears in his eyes and said, Hank Williams died this evening.
Your cheating heart will make you weep. You'll cry and try to sleep, but sleep won't come the whole night through.
you're my every dream. Yet you're afraid each thing I do is just some evil scheme. The more I learn to care for you, the more we drift apart. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? Another love before my time made your heart sad and blue. And so my heart is paying now for things I didn't do. In anger, unkind words are said that make the teardrops start. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? You'll never know how much it hurts to see you sit and cry. You know you need and want my love, yet you're afraid to try. Why do you run and hide from life? To try it just ain't smart. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? There was a time when I believed that you belonged to me, but now I know your heart is shackled to a memory. The more I learn to care for you, the more we drift apart. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart? Heading out to San Francisco for the Labor Day weekend show. I got my hush puppies on. I guess I never was meant for glitter rock and roll. And honey, I didn't know that I'd be missing you. So come Monday, it'll be alright. Come Monday, I'll be holding you tight. I spent 4 lonely days in a brown LA haze, and I just want you back by my side. Yes, it's been quite a summer. Rent-a-cars and westbound planes, and now you're off on vacation. Something you've tried to explain. And darling, it's I love you so. That's the reason I just let you go. Come Monday, it'll be alright. Come Monday, I'll be holding you tight. I spent 4 lonely days in a brown LA haze, and I just want you back by my side. I can't help it, honey. You're that much a part of me now. Remember that night in Montana when we said there'd be no room for doubt? I hope you're enjoying the scenery. I know that it's pretty up there. We can go hiking on Tuesday. With you I'd walk anywhere. California has worn me quite thin. to live in this world in a house of gold and deny my God and doom my soul. He sounds too blue to fly. The midnight train is whining low. I'm so lonesome I could cry. I've never seen a night so long when time goes crawling by. The moon just went behind the clouds to hide its face and cry. Did you ever see a robin weep when the leaves begin to die? Like me, he's lost the will to live. I'm so lonesome I could cry. Silence of a falling star lights up a purple sky. And as I wonder where you are, I'm so lonesome I could cry. All over town that you've been seen running round. I know that I should leave, but then I just can't go. This heart of mine could never see what everybody knew but me. Just trusting you was my great sin. What can I do? Your victim now, 'cause soon his head like mine will bow. He'll give his heart You have no heart, you have no shame. You take true love and give the blame. I guess that I should not complain. I love you still, you win again.
Burn the clutch out of it, buddy boy.
Now, that is a dose of Mr. Ellijay. Some of his favorite songs, and actually some of my favorite songs too. I hope that y'all enjoyed them. I want to share something with you. There are truly angels among us, and I believe when President Trump once again was not assassinated, thank God that the man who was there, thank God that the stranger was there and got his tag number, thank God for so many things that happened over the weekend. But I want to share a little bit of something that Donnie Fountain, if you don't know Donnie, he is one of the twins. He's Lonnie's brother, and they're twins, and they're roofers, and they are fishermen, and everybody knows and loves them. Now I want to share, and Trace, can you put up there you go. This reminds me of Donnie. That cross says it all. This is something that he wrote, and I have to share it with y'all. This is why we love doing what we do. It's not always about the win. And this is the guy who wrote, this is the guy you gave the skipjack to at the Helena boat ramp on Friday. I wanted to thank you and Lonnie for your kindness. I very much appreciate it. My friend who doesn't fish much was wanting me to take him on an overnight trip on the river. I didn't have any fresh bait, only a few dozen skipjacks from a few months ago. He caught a 76-pounder using the jacks that you gave us. Thank you, with a prayer sign there. I can't find the results of your tournament. I hope y'all did well and were able to extend your lead. If it didn't work out that way, know this. You received a much greater reward that is stored up for you in heaven for your kindness you extended to a stranger. May God continue to bless y'all. A brother in Christ, Tom Tackett. And then he said, P.S. If I ever have the opportunity, I'll try and extend the same kindness to you. Today, in honor of President Trump, in honor of the Fountain twins, in honor of anybody you know that is sharing goodness and great things in this country today, do something nice for somebody today. A stranger, open a door for them. Pick up somebody's lunch tab. Do something very simple, very easy. Do something that isn't going to stress you out, but it's going to make you feel better, and it's going to make you look at life differently. President Trump doesn't have to be doing what he's doing. He's doing it because he loves America. We need to love America. We need to love each other, and we need to learn from Donnie Fountain. It's not always about the win. It's about what you can do for others. If you see the Fountain twins fishing in a tournament, the one thing you will see on the back of their boat is a huge flag that says Jesus. Jesus is the answer. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. It's very simple. So today, have a blessed day. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to check out YouTube. All of our old programs are going to be loaded on there. We're going to have so much stuff that y'all will really enjoy going back, looking, and seeing some of your friends and some of your favorite moments here in 18 years of television. I'll see you again tomorrow when Susan Kiker will be with us, and we'll be talking hospital in Fannin County. I'll see you again. Bye, y'all.